The drive for freedom can lead groups to resort to armed struggle. Ours will never, ever be different. Ultimately, the choice of tactics is shaped by the myriad factors, and each movement must navigate its own path towards self-determination. Today, as the government of Biafra, I am telling you, Biafra people, that we as a government, we are navigating our path toward our freedom and self-determination. Those Nigeria NJ distractors should understand that our arms are getting stronger every day and we are getting more sophisticated. We will never drop this arm until the flag of Biafra is hoisted without anybody interfering, and until the recognition of Biafra as an independent state, the arms will continue to get more.
Morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on your time zone and depending from where you're watching us from. This is Biafra Watchman TV. We are live and we are direct. We are here to bring you the gospel of redemption, and we are here to bring you the gospel of hope, which is the Biafra, the kingdom of God on earth. The nation that will be the last miracle on the surface of the earth, as our able leader Ebenke said. Say all the things he has said have come to pass, which all of us have testified. We've seen it. Ebenke said, time shall come that if you've not applied your Somalia visa, you better go and do so, because time shall come that you cannot have funds to apply for Somalia visa. This is going on today. That's what we are seeing. He also said that if you've not gotten a bicycle, you should go and get one, because time shall come you will not see fuel to buy. There are a lot of prophecies, or time shall come when the money you put into Nigeria bank, you cannot have access to it. We all witnessed it. So virtually everything he has said have come to pass, except the restoration of kingdom of God on earth, which is Biafra. I want you guys to listen to the teachings of MNK. I could remember 2022 when the heat was very hot. People following DOS invited the second in command to Dr. Shu Ayaba. Though, as a black man, he later capitulated in the person of Capo Daniel. Capo Daniel has come. He said, MNK have, taught us everything. That each time we get confused, we should go and listen to his past broadcast. That will be, or that will serve as a guideline to us. Now he's not here with us, And if you check what the man said, it's nothing but the truth. MNK have taught us everything. I want you guys to pay attention. Listen to this broadcast from beginning to the end. I believe you will learn one or two from what is happening today in this Biafra restoration. There are one or two things you will learn from this teaching. So just pay attention. Sit back, relax, listen to the broadcast from beginning to the end. I greet you all. Genuine Biafrans. Peace and love. Over to MNK.
People you're fighting have not come to refer to you as a terrorist, then that means you're not doing anything. That means you're not threatening the status quo. Do you understand me very well? That is why in our case, where there is no democracy, because in Africa there is no democracy, people are very primitive, people are basically like wild animals in the forest, they have no brain. That is the reason why we need to agitate the way we are agitating, or else we can never be free. Understand this very, very clearly, please. Awolowo was also a terrorist. For the sake of Yoruba journalists in working for Channels Television, all those Yoruba people writing for the Punch newspaper, I also want to let you know tonight that Awolowo was once a terrorist because he was fighting for you. I hope you understand what I'm saying this evening. The world knows we are not terrorists. We have not gone to markets to bomb people. We have not gone to mosques to bomb people. We have not been to churches to kill people. We have not killed anybody, as a matter of fact. What ESN is doing is driving away Fulani terrorists in our forests. How can that make us a terrorist? By pursuing terrorists. How is that possible? How is that possible? Now pay attention to what I have to say. Do you remember those police they sent to Somalia? And I want people in Lagos to confirm this. I want my Yoruba brothers and sisters to confirm this, please, tonight and tomorrow morning. Do you know those police people they sent to Somalia? Ask yourself, why would any sensible country in the world send their police to Somalia? Is that possible? Do you know what they went to Somalia to do? I think that the Nigerian government will be shocked tonight that we have this intel. And I want to let them understand that the M branch of this very movement of IPOB to restore Biafra, our M branch is far more resourceful than any other organization in the whole. There is no move they make we don't know. We know how many tanks they are bringing. We know how many soldiers they are bringing. We know the type of armaments they are bringing. Everything we know. Ask the National Security Advisor of Nigeria. Ask their head of National Military Intelligence in Nigeria. Ask all the so-called big wigs of intelligence in Nigeria. And also ask the British. Why did Nigeria send a so-called policeman to Somalia to go and train people? Do you know what they went to Somalia to do? They went to go and recruit Al-Shabaab, terrorist operatives, to come to Nigeria to help them fight this war. That was why they went to Somalia. I'm sure this night they will be shocked how we knew this information. They went to Somalia. There is no country in the world after the debacle of U.S. rescue mission, Operation Hope, under George Bush Sr. No country in the world has ever dared to send their people into Mogadishu. Only Nigeria. Why? To go and recruit the very deadly Al-Shabaab terror group to come and fight for them. Remember the intel all over the place. America gave you intel a few weeks ago. I also have the latest one they gave today. When America said that terrorists are now moving south, I want to let the whole world understand. I want Tinubu to understand that even you are from, you're not safe. These are the people who are surrounding Lagos today. They are the ones in the forests of Yoruba land. Their leaders have come. The Nigerian government, the Fulani Caliphate government, sent their hardened men to Somalia to go and recruit Al-Shabaab terror group because they do not have the numbers to fight in the south. So they are complementing it with terrorists they are now recruiting across the Sahel, but most importantly, Al-Shabaab in Somalia. That was why they went to Somalia. Have you had any updates since they went to Somalia? Have they tried to show you anybody they have recruited from Somalia or how they're helping the Somali government? Have they done so? The answer is no, because their motive there is sinister. They went there to go and recruit Al-Shabaab terrorists to come to kill all of you, shouting one Nigeria with green, white, green flag. You know, sometimes I think that Elohim in heaven is maybe trying to hold us back to unleash this thing from the Fulani so that all the Fulefus will die in misery and in regret. That was why they went to Somalia to go and recruit Al-Shabaab to come to fight for them. And this Al-Shabaab, they are the ones who are in Lagos, planning to attack Lagos. But Tinubu told the police commissioner to say it is IPOB. Are you following what I'm saying? Ask your, oh my, black people, why did God make me a black person? I don't understand. Why people cannot reason. Let me ask you again. Ever since their police went to Somalia, it is a foreign expeditionary mission. How come there is no update? How many Somalis they have trained? Have you ever, brain of a black man, have you ever wondered why you don't hear anything about that? For the very simple reason that they went to recruit terrorists Al-Shabaab. And they are the ones now in and around Lagos, planning to launch multiple attacks in Lagos. And a human being, somebody that claims he has conscience, woke up in the morning and decided to blame IPOB for it. When Tinubu knows that those who are in the bushes and forests in and around Lagos are Al-Shabaab, hardened Somali terrorists all the way from Mogadishu that they brought in. Of course, history will be kind to IPOB. As this our brother have just written. His name is Adebayo Raphael. If they say to you in this life that Yoruba people will rise up to write glowingly in defense of IPOB, you will not believe it, but it is here very clear in black and white. Al-Shabaab is in around Lagos because Fulani knows they don't have the numbers. They cannot win this war. Nigeria has never won any war on its own before in its history. They always rely on people to fight for them. After they fight, they'll start making mad. That's all they do. That is all they do. And to tell you that this is a concerted effort to colonize everybody. Ever since they had their so-called security meeting last week and decided to invade the South. Some of you think it's only the East that are coming to the entire South. Have you been hearing about bandits doing this or doing that anymore? They have promised them that the oil money is theirs. That is why, Madam Tambuwal, I feel sorry for you. I feel sorry for you. The attack is coming. You can't escape it because it's too late. They understand that come 2023, should power leave the north, they are finished. So they must attack this. In fact, we are now forcing them to attack 1 year earlier than they had planned. This attack was meant to commence in 2022, but they are starting in 2021 because of IPOB and Eastern Security Network. May glory and praise be to the Almighty in heaven. Lagos is surrounded by Al-Shabaab, and that is why Tinubu is trying to pin it on IPOB, without success, of course. And I also want, listen to me very carefully this evening, please, and be writing it down. I want the Nigerian government to know this. Nigerian government, the Chinese have promised to sell you weapons. You have moved money to Shanghai. I did not mention Beijing, I said Shanghai. Shanghai is where you are right now purchasing weapons from the Chinese. China have agreed to sell weapons to Nigeria. They have also signed an agreement to supply Nigeria with weapons. I did not say Beijing. I said you are in Shanghai. That is where you are right now negotiating to bring those weapons in because you have moved Al-Shabaab to Lagos. The main strike force of Al-Qaeda is in Benue State, and the hardened remnants that you recruited from Boko Haram, they are now moving to the east from Bauchi. That is a three-pronged attack coming to the south. And I want Middle Belt to understand this very clearly. By the time the attack intensifies in the south, nobody will remember you, you are gone. Three-pronged attack. The Nigerian government recruited 3 hardened terror groups to fight this very battle for them. Al-Shabaab, they are in and around Lagos, they're in Yoruba land. They are the ones to lead the attack against Yoruba people. The main strike force of Al-Qaeda in the Maghreb, they are advancing through Benue. They will enter into Kogi. From there, they will come into Anambra and Enugu. Whereas the main Boko Haram front, recruited by this same government, they are coming from Ebonyi. But they are based in Bauchi, they are coming from Bauchi. That's where the armor, that is where the tanks are that they have given to them with which to come and kill people, because they have promised them the oil and gas in Biafra land. And that Allah gave Nigeria to Fulani people. Today's date is the 16th of May 2021. I pray to Elohim that this doesn't come to pass, but it's going to happen. And when it happens, as usual, people will go back to this, but he said it, or he's a prophet, he said it, or because you cannot stop what is coming. And I want you to know those to blame when they start massacring your men, women, and children. You will blame Obasanjo, you will blame Tinubu, you will blame Odios Okalo, you will blame, I don't even want to mention the Sarikini Fulani Hope, which is irrelevant. You blame Rochas Okorocha, You blame the Innamanis, you blame Iwanyang, you will blame Mrs. Tambuwal, you will blame the likes of Edwin Clark. All these appeasers of Fulani, they always appease Fulani. They want to please them. One Nigeria. The person you are doing one Nigeria for, does Fulani believe in one Nigeria? So you think that by Fulani opening their mouth and saying one Nigeria, they are doing it because they love you? Are you stupid? Are you that foolish? They're doing it because they want to conquer you. And in fact, you are conquered already. You are conquered already. Nigeria, are you not in Shanghai purchasing weapons right now, this very night? True or false, we know. When you bring them in, we are going to know. When you deploy them, we are going to know. When we destroy them in Biafra land, we will also tell you that we've destroyed them. That is to let you understand that our own intelligence is more than yours. Because in Yoruba land right now, not only are they refugees in Benin Republic, which some of them do not know, because the news is being suppressed, Yoruba people are paying ransom to go to their farms. Ask yourself this question. Somebody as influential as Wole Soyinka cannot go to his farm. He's a Yoruba man. Wole Soyinka, of course, one of the people that I blame for the mess that Nigeria is in. A man who is learning should be educating those of us, should be foretelling the dangers to come by virtue of his academic accomplishments. He was the one supporting Fulani Janjaweed. I don't know if they were doing it to spite the Igbo people. I don't know what for. That same man cannot go to his farm. Are you following what is happening? Are you following what is happening? Of course, they gave us BBC Igbo to do to us what Punch and all these channels have been doing to Yorubas for long. They're in front of you, they'll be doing oyo-yo. One Nigeria, you're dancing. From the back, they're slaughtering you. They're slaughtering you. Because Fulani needs to create a diversion. And they are masters at that. They know how to divert your attention. They are very good at it. And that was what our brother was writing about, Adebayo Raphael. ESN is a terror group. Nobody will ask them, but did ESN bomb any church? Did they go somewhere raping and killing people? Did they steal anything belonging to anybody? The answer is no. So what qualifies them as a terrorist? Oh no, because they're fighting Fulani. They are fighting your Janjaweedism. That is why they're terrorists. And being black people, very cowardly, very wicked, all of you are quiet. And I said this thing before, and I will say it again to the hearing of the whole world. Black people are suffering all over the world because we are a very wicked race. You can never see something evil happening and rise up to say that this is evil. Regardless of that person's ethnicity or tribe or religion, you say this thing is evil. I was in detention. I was paying for wrongfully convicted and wrongfully accused northern boys to have access to decent legal representation. I was paying for it. I was in detention. I was paying for it. I was paying for people who were wrongly accused of being Boko Haram members to be set free. I did not mind which tribe they came from. There is a video circulating, and I want all of you to circulate that video. I was in High Court. I was the one that paid for their parents to come to Abuja, to High Court, that I may tell the whole world where their children were being kept. I did not do it because they were Igbo or Efik or Ibibio or Biafra. No, not at all. Because they are human beings. And the truth must prevail. And I'm telling you, maybe that is the reason why, despite all their attempts to kill me, they have not managed to do so. Because this God that we serve in heaven can see the hearts of men, even in secret. And know that I harbor no ill feelings towards anybody on this earth. All I want is to be free. The reason why I want to be free is because Nigeria can never work, not today, not tomorrow, not ever. And I have pride and I have honor. I cannot be following white people all over the place, staying in a white man's land, working, them giving me everything, 24 hours, electricity, housing, education, everything, and I cannot give the same thing to my people. If I can't do that, it means I'm a failure in life. That's why we want Biafra. Not out of hatred for anybody, not at all. But Fulani wants to take our land, and we're saying no, they cannot take it. And some of you idiotically are supporting them. In the next coming months, you will see the result of the damage you have done to yourselves. You will see it. Because I know that Fulani Janjaweed, they need access to our oil and our gas. And I'm telling the UK government today, Katrina Lang, all these plans you're putting in place, because the person on the ground directing this Fulani attack is a woman, a white woman, Katrina Lang. That's the one doing all this work for Britain. Britain, one day, you see this little snake you're feeding, this Fulani Janjaweedism you're supporting, they will destroy you. One day they will kill British people in your so-called Nigeria. Go and mark my words somewhere. You people never learn. History is replete with Islamic governments you've helped in the past. They came back to bomb and to kill you. I'm talking about Britain, the UK. So will Fulani kill you one day. All this aiding and abetting of atrocity upon atrocity. The reason why the Fulanis are coming now is because Britain told them to attack now, because Israel is under siege from Hamas. That is the signature, that is the handwriting of Britain, that is the way they operate. The reason why Harold Wilson allowed the British to support the Fulani Janjaweed to kill 5 million people, the second worst genocide in the history of man, was in 1967. Two things happened. At the same time, Israel was under attack. As at now, Israel was under the Yom Kippur War of 1967. Israel was under attack. As Israel was under attack, Gowon launched his strike at Gekken. Britain calculated that the whole Vietnam War and everything will take over world attention. And the whole world now is focused on Israel. So the Fulanis can now come to Biafra land and kill as many people as possible. Britain will ensure that the world will not hear about it. Are you following what I'm preaching? Are you following what I'm saying? Because what I'm giving you is gospel from heaven. Is Yoku Chineke. The reason why they chose now to attack, it won't surprise me. I don't know. I don't have the intel yet, but it won't surprise me if Nigeria and United Kingdom has in hand in the attack that Hamas is launching against the state of Israel. I'm being honest with you. Or maybe they knew about it. Of course, they have a very credible and formidable intelligence services. They knew about it. And what they decided was, Nigeria, this is your time now to move in. Because the global attention is on Israel. Go to Biafra and kill as many as you can. Subdue and suppress them. Do you know how I knew that this was going to happen? Anywhere Katrina Lang visits, anywhere she goes to, give it only 2 weeks, the army will move in there to kill people. The British, I'm telling you, it's simple research, go and do it. Anytime there is a crisis, the British High Commissioner Katrina Lang, anywhere, anytime she's on the move, you are finished. She was the woman that visited Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The next day, people were dying around Lekki Tollgate. After visiting Ojo Zokalo to go engage the Poles of the East, Ojo Zokalo gave them the go-ahead to come to our land to kill us. Katrina Lang, that's the woman's name. British High Commissioner to the zoo that they created called Nigeria. And people don't want to understand because I'm going to come to the issue of black people later on. Because the time has come for us to begin to reason properly like human beings. Do you know somebody called Davin Anderson, the US intelligence chief? He warned that southern Nigeria needs to keep its eyes open. Terror groups have taken over the region. This is the news being reported 3 hours ago. 3 hours ago. Go and Google it. Southern Nigeria needs to keep its eyes open. Terror groups have taken over the region. This was what Tinubu was trying to pin on IPOB. Are you following? This was what Tinubu was trying to pin on IPOB. So when Al-Shabaab are busy slaughtering people in Yoruba land, Tinubu will say it's IPOB that is doing it. But as God will have it, the love I have for Yoruba people stemming from the love they have shown to me, I'm being honest with you. We talk privately. The land of Baya, the Banjo, the land of Gani Adams, the land of Iboho, the land of Femi Fanikayode, the land of Papa Shoranti, the land of my late friend. Why would I go and attack it? They don't know that we are under oath. Do you know we are under blood oath with our Yoruba brethren? Are you aware of that? Blood oath. That we can never, ever, not in a billion years, work against each other. Never. That is why you see their rallies. You see the way they do their rallies? That is why everywhere is bubbling. And the intelligence officer that spoke to us told us that they don't want to attack Yoruba yet. Their plan before was to attack Yoruba first, take over Yoruba land, and then come to the east to subdue us. But that the only people they fear is IPOB. Go and ask them. That is why they want to demonize us. If you're from the south, I want you to listen very carefully. If you're Biafra, if you're Duduwa, even from the Middle Belt, the United States has said that the southern part of Nigeria should stay on alert because terror groups are already establishing their presence in the country and moving down south. The warning was made in a media briefing by Darwin Anderson, commander of the U.S. Special Operations Command Africa. He said Al-Qaeda is also expanding to other parts of West Africa. We have engaged with Nigeria and continue to engage with them in intel sharing and in understanding what these violent extremists are doing. Not IPOB. Al-Qaeda is there. Al-Shabaab is there. Three-pronged attack. ISIS in West Africa is there. And Tinubu wants to pin it on IPOB. Do you see how evil these men are? But our God is fighting for us. That is why we receive all. They don't even have this intelligence we do. I know where they're buying weapons now, Fulani. Fulani can never fight a war on their own. And I told that all the barracks you see in the east, they're empty. Nobody wants to join their army. That is why they're drafting people from Baguchi. If you claim that 82 division in Enugu is strong, Obinze is strong, or Hafia is strong, or Onitsha is strong, they are all there to intimidate all of you into submission. That the Fulanis may rule over you. That's all. There are no men. They have to go, and now they are recruiting terrorist groups to come and fight for them. You must understand what is happening. Therefore, it never came to me as a surprise. Katrina Lang, the UK High Commissioner to Nigeria, wants the Igbo race to be wiped out. The same way people want the Jews to be killed. Any day our people rise up to recognize and understand this, the better for all of us. Some people want us dead. Not that we have done anything to them. No, not at all. But because United Kingdom believes that the coming of Biafra will herald the coming of Christ, that the world will come to an end. Any day the black man acquires reason. Any day the black man can build a car. Any day the black man can feed himself. That day the world will come to an end. That's what they believe in. And they know that it is Biafra that holds the key. They understand that very well. That is why it never came to me as a surprise that after Katrina Lang visited the arch-traitor Okalo, the very amorphous, headless monster known as Fulani Caliphate declared effectively the Second Biafran War. Something tells me, as I told you earlier, that the timing of this war on Biafra has something to do with Britain. Because in like 1967, Israel today is at war the same way they were at war when Nigeria attacked Biafra in 1967. They now want to use it as a cover to commit genocide. And I'm telling Biafrans tonight that we are effectively on our own. We have been given two choices by the United Kingdom, the slave masters and the colonizers. The UK have given us only two alternatives. And I call it the devil's alternative, of course. We either submit to the will of their puppets, the Islamic Caliphate, or we will be wiped out from the face of this very earth. The question you must ask yourself tonight as a Biafran, as a Southerner is, do you want to be a slave to the Fulani Caliphate, or do you want to die on your feet? Live for 1,000 years on your knees, as most of them are doing without even knowing it, or you die on your feet. The devil's alternative. Whichever option we choose, men are going to die. Which one do you prefer? Are we going to fight and die like men? Or are we going to submit to a lie for Allahu Akbar? It's entirely up to you. The time is now because the enemies, they have come. I didn't say they are coming, they have not come into our land. And as I promised them, if God is on our side, which I know He is on our side, this army of Nigeria will die in Biafra land. That is how God intended it to happen. Many of us are going to die. And I'll be leading it myself, mind you. Many of us are going to die. But Biafra is going to come. And everything called Nigeria will perish in Biafra land. The world must be prepared for what is to come. We are not going to be slaves in our land. I want to let Katrina Lang, the UK government, to understand this. That we have chosen the path of death than to submit to the will of the Fulani Caliphate. Death is better for us. People are dying every day. Are they not human beings? People are dying every day. Are we better than them? Those who are dying, are we better than them? We must develop the mindset of the Afghanis. In Afghanistan, that is why Afghanistan cannot be taken. It doesn't matter the firepower you have. NATO is in Afghanistan. Have they taken Afghanistan? The answer is no. You are coming to kill us, but we are also going to die together in the land of Biafra. Let anybody say I did not warn them, because things are going to start happening in the next 14 days. When it starts happening, if Fulefus may talk and yap and write their rubbish. But now that the Fulanis are kidnapping our people, disappearing us, killing people in truckloads, nobody is talking. We must make our land impregnable for them. And that will involve a lot of destruction. I'm saying it live on air so that all of you will understand. To slow the advance down, we need to destroy a lot of things. We must destroy a lot of things. That is how all of you will come to your senses to understand that we are in a state of war. They want to circle us. They are using the Fulefus amongst us to try to be, assuaging your, should I say, your bruised egos, all of you, writing no rubbish about one Nigeria. From next 2 weeks, we are going to start dying for what we believe in. Not 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. We are going to die en masse, and we are going to take them with us. By the time the slaughter happens, it will be so intense that you see that CNN, they'll come to Biafra to cover this very war. That is about to happen. You see CNN, all of them running away from Biafra, they will cover it by force, because we are going to kill every Nigerian soldier on Biafran soil will die. God is my witness. And I will lead this very army myself. I want the UK to understand that we have chosen to die than be slaves. At the end of this newly declared war against Biafrans, many of us will perish, but out of these very ruins, Biafra is going to rise up again to the eternal glory of Chukwu in heaven, that his will may be done on earth as it is in heaven. I want them to understand. Let it not be tomorrow people say, but the suicide bombing is not part of our nature, it's not our life, it's not our culture. Now that Fulani are there, we are going to die with them. We are Biafrans, as they will say, being a Liverpool fan. What we do in life echo in history, as they sing. What you achieve in life will echo because it's appointed unto man to die only but once. Earlier I was mentioning Mandela, I mentioned George Washington, I mentioned Oliver Cromwell, I mentioned Mugabe, I didn't even know if I mentioned Castro or not. All these were called terrorists. They are all dead, but they are immortal because we still mention them till this very day. We crave immortality, and in 14 days it will start. Don't say I did not warn you, please. Don't say I didn't warn you. Fulani brought war to our land. All we asked them to do was to leave our forest and go and live in the township, rent a house and live in the town, bring down your nama, sell it, and do whatever you want to do with it. You cannot stay in our forest. You cannot stay there. If you stay there, you will die. That is the only crime that Eastern Security Network committed. Nobody can tell us today if their mosque has been bombed by ESN or any church or any village or anyone, nothing. So these people you're calling terrorists, what is their crime? Because they said that we cannot take over their land. That is the crime of ESN and IPOB by extension. As I told you a few weeks ago, the Janjaweed have opened the floodgates of hell. And unto thy hands, O Elohim, we commit our spirit. As they will say in one very popular movie, those of us who are about to die, we salute you. Because the land of Biafra will be defended with the blood of anything that moves. Rather than the Fulani to take over Biafra land, there will be no living organism in that very place. I am warning every traditional ruler, every governor, every senator to understand what I'm saying this night and take it on board. And do not quote me out of context. If you want to be a Fulani slave, go to the Middle Belt and join them there. All of you can be slaves to one Nigeria. That is your business. You say the land of Biafra, we cannot surrender to anyone. Now, I don't want anybody to lament. Oh, they have killed us here. Don't stop lamentation. All we need is action. Not Rambo style action. If you want to know how Britain ran away from Israel, go and read the book. Just Google it and say, how was it possible that the state of Israel was established despite hostilities from everywhere, surrounded by enemies? But they still succeeded because they blew them out of Palestine, or they call it Palestine, which was a name, just as they're calling us now, Southeast. They don't want to call us our name Biafra. After the Romans took over the Holy Land, they named it Palestine because they said that the Jews were too stubborn. They raised the name Israel and called the place Palestine. That's what they do. Because when somebody wants to completely overwhelm you, they change your identity for you. And if you're a very stupid black person, as most of us are, of course, in Africa, you swallow your new name, hook, line, and sinker. Israel was named Palestine by the Romans that came and burnt the temple down because of rebellion, that they were too rebellious. The same thing they tried to do to us. We must be very, very strong. Go and ask them how they did it. They blew them away from there. Not all this Rambo on the road. Every road leading into Biafra land will be mined. Everything that is Nigerian, whatever police or army that steps on our road will blow it to thy kingdom come. Very neat and simple. And I will make a cowboy and Rambo. We don't need that rubbish. We destroy everything destroyable. We need to force them. I said before, when we drive away the Fulani terrorists, from our bushes, they will bring in their army. We will kill their army. They will start throwing bombs from the air. After that, they will leave us alone. I'm telling you, you mark my words, that's how it's going to happen. When I told you that we will defeat Mietiala, did you believe me? When I said we will drive away Mietiala from our land, did you believe me? We did it without the help of any governor, no politician, nobody. This great family, this IPOB, Chineke Goziun and Ndioma, Umu Chineke. We are dying, isn't it? At least we are dying for what we... How about those being killed by Fulani Janjaweed in the Middle Belt? They died for nothing. They're not fighting for anything. They're not fighting for the independence. Nothing. They're just in the farm and they're killed. For you to die in the cause of defending your country, your nation, is the greatest accolade anyone can have in this life. You must understand that. From today, we must stop lamenting on social media and engage ourselves in activities that will slow down the enemy. We know where they're coming from, always from three sides. They'll try to come from Kogi, they will come from Ebonyi axis, they will come from Enugu, only three sides they can come from. Only. nothing else. We slow them down. We destroy everything destroyable to slow them down so we can kill them. They're not trained in war because they're not patriotic. These are terrorists. What inspires them is some stupid quotes in the Quran. What inspires us is the gift that God gave to us. That this land of Biafra is ours. In perpetuity. No one can take it from us. No idiot can. We are in a state of war. Every scientist, everybody must come out now to begin to prepare. We are going to dig our trenches. We are going to amass everything that we have built so far to prepare to repel the invaders. Every DSS office that we know of, every army cantonment or barracks that we know of, will be placed under surveillance. And we must begin to deal with them as we lay our hands on them. Because before I came on air today, I wanted to apologize to white people. You know, before I used to be very angry about against slavery, against colonialism and all the rest of it. But in a way, today I want to apologize to Europeans and to Americans that enslaved black people. Because I have come to believe that the best thing that ever happened to we black people is slavery and European colonization. It's tongue-in-cheek, if you understand. It's sarcasm, if some of you can actually absorb it. Sometimes I wonder what would have become of us had Europeans not mercifully sold us as slaves, colonized us or given us limited knowledge with which we are making mouth today, boasting. I went to school. I went to Harvard. I went to Princeton. Oh, God. Because I believe very strongly that we black people, we are a disgrace to humanity. Shameful. If with all our education, claims of patriotism and goodness knows what else, we are still being fooled that Buhari is alive, then no black man deserves freedom. The black race, I believe, as somebody said a while ago, I don't know if it was in Powell, I don't know who it was that said that Africa should be colonized again and dominated forever. Maybe they have a point. It seems to me that black people are intellectually inferior to every other race in the world. As I tweeted, was it yesterday, without Nigerians, I wouldn't have known how easy it is to fool and deceive black people. Since our brain cannot even interpret what our eyes can see, how is it possible that we can transform our society to serve our needs? It's not possible. If when you see something, you can even interpret what you're looking at. We are foolish, but old and young. But in Biafra, we're going to redeem ourselves. Because it seems to me that we have eyes, but we cannot see. We lack the capacity to engage the relevant sections of our brain that has to do with critical analysis. That is why Fulani can come to and say to you, IPOB is a terrorist group. You, as a southern journalist that went to school, a journalist that went to school, you will say, it's ready to ask the government, but what did IPOB do for you to outlaw them? When Mietiala is going about killing, raping, and maiming people, you are outlawed, proscribed, outlawed. You can't ask questions because you don't have conscience. That part of our brain that has to do with critical thinking and analysis, in black people, I don't think it is working. When you see something that is beautiful, don't you say that thing is beautiful? You may not have been to Niagara Falls, you may not have been to Budukato Ranch, you may not have been to Uguta Lake, you may not have been to, Otampa River, you may not have been to, but when you see beauty in nature, the first thing you do is to acknowledge it. When you see a handsome man, a beautiful woman, you don't need anybody to tell you that this thing is beautiful. You will say, oh, but this one is so beautiful. Or this television is so pretty. Do you know why? Because your brain automatically identifies anything that is beautiful. That is how human beings are created. You may not have seen that thing before. As one old woman taught me, Once your eyes behold something beautiful, your eye, oh my God, this is so beautiful. Because that part of your brain is still functioning. Which means that everything bright and beautiful, your brain will automatically tell you that that thing is beautiful, isn't it? Anything that is bright and is wonderful, like the rainbow, you say, oh my God, or a sunset in the morning, or sunrise, you say, how beautiful this is. Because your brain is telling you it's beautiful. You don't need anybody to tell you. The same thing goes for anything that is ugly. If you can start up and behold something and say, oh, this is so beautiful, you can also rise up and say that this thing is very ugly, it is evil, it is bad. This brings me to the phenomenon of the dead, late Buhari, and the successful attempt to deceive all of you so far in this zoological republic. Let me leave out the more complex, interpretations of the various masked wearers of the Fulani cabal that they periodically bring out to deceive all of you, semi-animals claiming you're educated, and focus on the very simple ones that prove to me that black people, especially Nigerians, are lower than wild animals. I cannot compare a wild animal to a Nigerian because that means insulting animals. I'm telling you the truth. And why am I saying this? Because of the case of Buhari, the dead Buhari. I don't know why some of you will stand in front of the mirror and look at yourselves and call yourselves human beings. With the same eyes, you look at the picture or the video, the channel's television interview of this little boy with his hands, very fresh hands, like that of a 25-year-old. You saw his nose that the mask tore. The part of the nose where the mask should be had cut off from the main nose itself. The nose was looking like that of Michael Jackson, a crumbling nose. All of you saw it. You saw his hands. And you're learned, you're educated. You still claim that that thing is Buhari. For the life of me, I can't understand. I mean, if you say that that thing in front of Channels Television is Buhari, may God have mercy upon your soul. That means that everything that Ku Klux Klan have been saying about black people is true. That these people are beasts, they cannot win. Even when they say the truth, they cannot stand up to say that this is what it should be. I want to know why Nigerians, having seen the hands of this little boy and the nose that is crumbling, you have all seen the obvious flaws in the mask that the Janjaweed have given to these boys to wear. You still cannot bring yourselves to ask a simple question. Do you know the person that you saw the other day? Is that little boy called Tatagwe? He used to be a comedian. He's an Igbo boy. I think he was born and raised in Zaria. You know that boy that used to mimic Buhari? Why haven't you asked yourself, where is that boy? Zoological Republic. Why haven't you asked yourself? His name is, I think it's Tagwe, they call him. Why have you not asked yourself, where is that comedian that used to mimic Buhari called Tagwe? Do you know what they did to him? They took him to Asarok. They gave a Fulani girl to him, converted him to Islam. So you don't know? Of course. So because they know that Yusuf Abubakar Muhammad is useless, cannot speak. Once in a while, they bring Tagwe to come out. That is why his English, he cannot hide the flawlessness of his English. Are you listening to me? Have you ever wondered why Nigerians, having seen the hole in the neck of somebody they refer to as their president, still failed to ask the question, Mr. President, how did you develop this hole in your neck? If you go to Guardian newspaper archives, if you go to Punch newspaper archives, if you go to all they have it. You can see a man with a hole in his neck. You know, when I ponder all these things, when I pray, I keep asking God, were black people in your plans when you were making man? Or did something go wrong somewhere? Somebody that did not have a hole in his neck yesterday, all of a sudden one morning, developed a hole in his neck. And the people that claim they are his citizens or whatever cannot even ask, what is this hole doing on you? Did you have any surgery or were you breathing from your neck and they failed to close it? And these are people that want good roads and electricity and good governance. In any system that claims to have regard for the well-being of the people, such an obvious defect in the appearance of their so-called number one citizen should have attracted a lot of attention. Anywhere in the world. Can you see Biden? Only that Biden fell down climbing the steps of Air Force One. It was everywhere. Can you imagine Biden coming out tomorrow at the Rose Garden of the White House with a hole in his neck? What do you think will happen? What do you think will happen? Black people, this UG, black. Why can't you ask yourself this simple question? What caused that hole in his neck? Now, if you're telling us that this man is 82 years old, how come his hands looks as fresh as that of my grandchild? Simple questions, but you can't answer them, or you can't even ask them to start with. That is what makes you a black person. And that is the difference between you and white people. You see, in all those countries where they have 24 hours of electricity, where there is running water, where there is free healthcare, free housing, if you present somebody like this claiming he's Buhari, they will ask questions in public. That is the difference between white and black people. And that is why they are still controlling us till this very day. You know, sometimes it is easier, I should say, to deceive people than to educate them. Especially those who have been enslaved and deceived. That's why so many people don't want to learn about the evil that is going on in Asarok. Even when you see it, you don't want to say, oh, bring 2023. Let 2023 come so another person can go in. Typical black people. And you keep wondering why you are poor. You keep wondering why God has abandoned all of you. You keep wondering why you have no good roads. You keep wondering why you go out and the army will kill you and nobody will talk. You keep wondering why you be in your home and the police will come and kill everybody and nobody will talk. There is a picture that is in circulation. I tweeted it. Please go to my Twitter handle or page and see it. I tweeted a picture that was released by Channels Television, not from me, Channels TV. In fact, God so kind, there is a video. I want everybody to pay attention to the maxed, crumbling nose and young, fresh hands of this latest version of an 82-year-old dead Buhari. An 82-year-old man looking so young and so fresh. Now, the question any sensible person will ask is this. Anywhere in the world, I believe even white people will ask is this. If such transformation that so-called Buhari went through that turned him from 82 years to now 33 years, if it exists, why is it that Bill Gates is not looking like an 18-year-old? Or even Biden, the strongest man in the world, allegedly? Or even Tifnubu, that not only looks old, but very, very ugly at that? Don't you think that all of them would have opted for a more youthful appearance to coincide with, even Tinubu from 79 to 69? If it were possible for him to make himself appear young and look 69, he would have done it. He would have done it, but he cannot do it. Because who you have in Asorok is not Buhari. Buhari is dead long time ago. Look at his hands. I want any Nigerian to look at the hands of that little boy and tell me that that boy is Buhari. Just look at the hands. And don't take the picture, because that is Photoshop. Go and play the original Channels Television interview and you will see it. He kept pulling at his nose mask now because we lambasted them. Because of the pomo ear, they're not tying it around his neck. None of you can ask questions. Child, this UG. One of my greatest regrets in life is being born a black person. Because sometimes I wake up in the morning and I'm thinking to myself, how can I be thinking this way? And there must be other people capable of thinking the way that I'm thinking. How can you say that somebody is Buhari? He cannot put his mask around his ear. It's around his neck. You can see the nose, the double fold nose crumbling. You can see it is the mask that tore. Yes, you cannot ask questions. You are there. You are looking at the fresh hands. The fresh hands If whatever Buhari went through was possible to make him turn him from being 82 to 33, why didn't Prince Philip do the same thing? Queen Elizabeth of England. Why didn't Queen of England do the same thing for her husband that just died? But because we are Africans, they can deceive Efulefus and Nigerians, but they cannot deceive IPOB. It is we black people that destroyed ourselves with our own hands. Nigeria is a typical example. I will no longer blame any white person. I will not even blame anybody. You see, Ku Klux Klan, all these racist groups, I can never blame them anymore. Because one day I was thinking to myself, a white man just can't be racist for the sake of it. Why are they not being racist towards Japanese people? It is dawning on me that we are the reason why people are racist towards us. Our behavior and our way of thinking. We black people destroyed ourselves with our own hands. These people have made a mockery of their own constitution. If they cannot obey their own laws that says that once the president dies, the vice or deputy takes over, how do you expect the rest of the animals in the zoo to obey the constitution? Fulani Janjaweed, I'm asking you this question. Fulani Kaba, you have disobeyed the constitution. Buhari died on the 27th day of January 2017. Instead of you to swear Osibanjo in as the president, you kept a mannequin, moving one idiot from place to place. That is why there is no live address. They cannot address you live. They cannot do any walkabout. Nobody can visit them. Nothing. These UG black people, you are the cause of your own problems. And everything is in your brain. The way you reason, the way you approach issues, the way you analyze issues is the reason why you are poor. That is why it appears as if the whole of the world hates you. They call you nigger, they call you all sorts of names, not because they hate you, but because you hate yourself. The way you reason and the way you behave. We destroyed ourselves with our own hands. Even in Nigeria, the Fulani that wrote the constitution cannot even obey it. If you demand for DNA tomorrow morning, they will give you restructuring. Those of you asking for it, just ask for the DNA of that idiot. Just come out and say it. And you see they will give you restructuring overnight. They can deceive you people, but not us. A dead man that should have been replaced now has a mask. Anybody can wear that mask with a rumpled nose, shamelessly telling us that he wants to invade the East. We have agreed on a new measure to invade the East. Somebody who is not a Nigerian. Somebody who is not who you voted for, you or you claim you voted for. A little boy of less than 33 years of age, claiming he's 82. When they look at that, they say these are idiots, let us kill all of them. Janjaweed thought by removing the mask from, they thought by not anchoring the mask on the ear and putting it around the neck that somehow they will find a way to circumnavigate all the mysteries surrounding the death of Buhari. There is a girl I want to ask a question. Of course, anyway, her name is Yusuf. She's Yoruba, but she's Yoruba Muslim, maybe Yoruba Lauren. Those that are conquered by Flanagan. That girl on Channels TV called, is it Maokwe? Her son of is Yusuf for Makadiga Mama. Yusuf. And there's another Yoruba Fulani journalist. I don't know her name. What's her name again? That used to work for Adeola. That girl that used to work for Sahara Reporters. Where are they now? Please send that picture to them and ask them. I want people to tweet that very picture, tag these people, and ask them, is this the hand of an 82-year-old man? My good friend and brother, of course, happy birthday to you, Dele Momodu. That said he is Buhari. People should send that very picture to Dele Momodu and ask him, Dele, is this Buhari that you know? In fact, just ask him, is this the hand of an 82-year-old? Look at your own hand, you are 61. Is your hand as fresh as this one? Because I told people before, you cannot, there's no way you can do plastic surgery on the hand. It will always show. That is why if you're putting on bleaching cream, the first place you'll be exposed are the knuckles of your hands, because your hand cannot lie. That's why God placed palm print on your hand. It cannot lie. Akaraka. Do you know that? Do you know people like Lawan, the Speaker of the Senate, people like Hope, people that use bleaching cream? The way you know that a woman or a man is using bleaching cream is by the knuckles, the hand. There's no remedy. You cannot deceive the hand. Your face can accept bleaching cream, but you see your hand will never accept it. After a while, it will burn. Your knuckles will burn. They cannot perform surgery on the hand to make it look old. Nobody can. The best way to tell somebody's age is by looking at the back of your hand. Once you're over 70, you see wrinkles. You cannot do surgery to remove them. It's impossible. How can somebody who is 82 not have wrinkles? And you say that that person is your president. You say Mr. President is an Asorok. And you want me to regard you as a human being. How is that possible? When I say it now, you say I'm insulting you. I want people to send that picture to that girl called Adeola. I don't know. It's always Yoruba people defending Janjaweed. I don't know why. And the one called Maope Yusuf for Channels Television. Adeola. Send those pictures to these two Yoruba girls and ask them a simple question. Is this the hand of an 82-year-old man? A very simple question. And the zoo will begin to crumble before your eyes. You know, our people don't know how to fight this very battle. They have no idea. Hey, give us the structuring. Who are you begging to give you? So, by begging Fulani to give you the structuring, that means that Fulani are the owners of Nigeria. That is something they don't know. We serve, we demand restructuring. Demand it from who? By virtue of you saying that you are demanding for restructuring, it means that you are acknowledging that somebody is holding it. And that person holding it, they are, or should I say, the people holding it, they are the owners of Nigeria. Oh my goodness me. A country that believes that cockroaches can keep a president and commander-in-chief out of his office locked out for months on end deserves not to exist. You people are the same Nigerians that Abba Kyari told you that rats and cockroaches prevented the president from accessing his office upon his return from medical whatever in London. And all of you believed it. Commander-in-chief of the armed forces being kept away from his office by cockroaches. Hey, this UG, black people. Black people. They say that monkeys swallowed bags of money. Snakes. You know, so, seriously, yesterday I was thinking about this, you know. Cockroaches kept the president away from his office. Go and Google it. There's his headline. All of you accepted it. That was when they were changing the biometric on the door because nobody can enter into it. It was built by Babangida. It was the Mossad that told Babangida to build such bunker. So that any military coup is futile. You'll be there until help will come from the outside world. So they need to scan your retina and your thumbprints to enter there. When Buhari died, they forgot to cut off his finger, his right thumb, or bring back his head to scan his retina. That was why they had to destroy it, and it took about 3 months to do. And during that 3 months, he walked from his village in Daura. His cockroaches are there. There are too many. A country that cockroaches defeated an army, the presidential guard. Does that country deserve to exist? You know, white people go through all these things. And after going through them, they look at you niggas. They'll be wondering, oh, do you know that cockroaches kept their president away from the office? In this UG, I won't meet people again. No. And I cannot, God forbid. People are too dumb for me. While I was pondering this show of shame by the Fulani Janjaweed Caliphate and their partners in crime, the Yoruba media, it dawned on me that God must have made a very serious mistake by creating black people. To refer to black Nigerians as animals would be an insult to the animal kingdom. Just like referring to Nigeria as a zoo is an insult to zoo animals that have 24 hours electricity and running water. To be honest with you, my dear brothers and sisters, I am tired of the idiocy of black people. I'm tired. Without the